What's going on, guys? Jacob over here, coming to you with my reactions to Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. And, wow. All-time performance, fourth-quarter performance by KHRIS Middleton. The Bucks really had no business winning this game. The way that they started, they were down 25-10 early. The Hawks were shooting the lights out of the building through the first three quarters. I mean, I was feeling pretty good about where they were considering it was tied at halftime, despite Atlanta's hot shooting, but they just kind of continued to shoot that way in the third quarter. But fourth quarter rolls around. I think the Bucks find themselves down about 7 points, I want to say, at one point in the fourth quarter, and then KHRIS Middleton. I mean, that guy might not be Kobe Bryant. He'll probably never be Kobe Bryant, but sometimes he just turns in some of the most Kobe-esque performances I've ever seen. And tonight, in the fourth quarter, he was magical. I mean, he had no fear taking those shots. He knocked down damn near every single one. I mean, I couldn't be prouder of how he played. I mean, this is the kind of thing that the Bucks really didn't have the previous two postseasons. They didn't have that guy who was just fearless and would take those shots. Now, KHRIS Middleton was on those teams the previous two seasons, but he never really seemed to want to be that guy who would take that shot, But in this scenario, he took them, and, if he missed them, I was going to be upset. But, I mean, the way he was so fearless about it, and he knocked them all down. It was just, swish, swish, swish. It was effortless. It was beautiful to watch. And, I mean, the Bucks certainly stole one here in Atlanta for sure. I mean, the way that the Hawks stole one in Milwaukee in Game 1, the Bucks returned the favor here. Atlanta controlled this game for the majority of the time, and yet, the Bucks had one player get hot, one player find their stroke, and here we are. Milwaukee has a 2-1 lead. Could have been 3-0 had they been able to hang on in Game 1, but I mean, you just have to be proud of the way that the Bucks played. The Bucks finished in this game, especially KHRIS Middleton. They certainly do not win this game without him, and it's really hard to envision a scenario in which the Bucks win this game without him turning in that kind of performance in the fourth quarter. But as for Giannis, he was spectacular once again. I think he had 33 points and like 11 rebounds or something. He was, turned in his usual Giannis Antetokounmpo performance. I mean, I feel like his performances are almost getting underrated at this point. It's like just a standard 30-10 game from Giannis again in the postseason in the Eastern Conference Finals with the chance to go up 2-1 in the series. And he, once again, is absolutely dominant in the paint. I mean, that was really the Bucks' play in the second quarter when they were trying to get back into the game. They just kind of had Giannis get into the paint, and he would score almost every single time. He was finishing beautifully. Pretty much every play was designed to get Giannis the ball in the paint, and he was scoring every single time. And, the Hawks were not missing either. They were hitting some really tough shots, but Giannis just kept answering, and that stretch really kind of kept the Bucks in the game. And in the long run, that ended up being really important in the stretch run because the Bucks actually had a chance to win that game down the stretch, and they ended up doing so because KHRIS Middleton got hot. But you can't forget that stretch where Giannis had, I think like 13 of the Bucks' last 15 points in a certain stretch in the second quarter. He was phenomenal. And he really kept the Bucks in the game during that time because the Hawks were just on fire. But, Trae Young, I mean, I feel like he hit 2 or 3 logo threes. I want to say, I mean, he pulled up from really long behind the three-point line, and he hit a few that you usually aren't accustomed to seeing him make. But, he kind of had that ankle tweak when he took a shot and landed kind of awkwardly on the ref's foot. And he really wasn't the same after that. I mean, you look at the Hawks' offensive sets, and they really weren't running much with Trae Young. They kind of had him sitting in the corner from the majority of the fourth quarter. And, I wonder if that game turns out differently if Trae Young isn't injured, maybe. I mean, he was still out there. He was still healthy enough to be out there, and there were some times where he was able to get to his spots, but he wasn't able to make the shot, I should say. So I wonder if that ankle tweak affected his game or not. Maybe, maybe not, but, the Bucks will certainly take it. I mean, the Bucks more than deserving of winning this game for sure, the way that KHRIS Middleton played, the way that they closed it out, and now they're not heading back to Milwaukee just yet, but they have one more game in Atlanta before heading back to Milwaukee. They can steal another one at Atlanta, get back to Milwaukee 3-1. Really hard to see them losing that Game 5. So next game going to be an extremely important one for the Bucks, but if they can pull that off, then I'm really, really liking their odds of getting to the NBA Finals. So, anyways, guys, that's all I got to say in this video. Just a really, really exciting finish to this one. And KHRIS Middleton, man. I am so happy that man is on my team. I am so happy that man is on my team. He is amazing in the fourth quarter. He is the guy I want the ball in the hands of when the game's on the line for the Milwaukee Bucks, and I trust him to make those tough, clutch shots, and he made damn near every single one of them tonight. Hats off to him. Hats off to the Bucks for winning a game that they probably should not have. Just incredible grit and determination in that fourth quarter. And like I said, it's really something that you did not see from previous Buck teams that made it this far. That kind of mentality, the Bucks just kind of kept putting their heads down and scoring and keeping themselves in the game, and it ended up giving them a dub. But see you guys next time. Fear the deer.